Can I help? Yeah? Bye.
Sure, I've got a minute. Gladly. Talking about myself is one of my hobbies. How much time do you have? Just kidding. Let's see, where to start. I've been in Constellation for a long time. Aja and Sarah convinced me to join before the Colony War. Lost my husband during that damn war. Lost some other friends too. Anyway, I've been exploring planets with Constellation ever since then. Helps keep me busy. So I guess that's me in a nutshell. My grandma raised me for the most part. Lost a lot of family in the war. Not much left to speak of, really. Well, I joined in 2305. Aja brought me on. It was unlike anything I had ever been a part of before. When I joined Constellation, part of me was worried I wouldn't belong. I thought they'd all wear fancy suits and talk about business opportunities all day. I entered the lodge and I was immediately pulled into an intense debate about whether the Freestar Collective would really risk war with the United Colonies. They pulled me into the conversation and treated me as if I had always been there. I hope your experience was the same. Anyway, what else did you want to ask about? Well, Aja recruited me in 2305, so, you know, it's been a while. So, is there anything else you want to ask about? I used to work as a United Colonies physicist. I was so starry-eyed, thought I could change the universe. And you know what? I don't think I've changed a bit. Except my job is much better. Any other questions? Fair enough. There's a lot of history with this organization. I'm lucky to have been here this long. Not my thing. It's just not something that I need, and it never appealed to me. Yeah, Vasco is great for reminding me about schedules and protocols, or engaging in data-focused conversation, you know? But if I tell him about how I found the first artifact, or how I escaped from the Crimson Fleet, or when I saved a stranded pilot from an island covered in hypnotic flowers, you know, he just isn't impressed. I'm starting to feel a little interrogated.
You have my... Did you need something?
Yes, of course. I have done so in the past, when necessary, but I am not the best pilot, and it seems prudent to apply my skills where they are most useful. Lately, that means aiding you, and that, I think, has worked out very well.
All right, then.
What can I help you with?
Forgot to check the math on a few equations. The brain's long gone. Forgetfulness.
Yeah, the way you handle things, not bad. Not bad.
As much as I love uncovering new questions, I wouldn't mind a few answers now and then.
Still need to lift another set today. Been dragging. Shoulder stiff. Never regretted coming out of retirement. Constellation's got the writ of the righteous. Keeps me young. You had a hell of a shake, getting bullied in the void. Starborn sure know how to make an entrance. Ready to head back out there? The Eye can help you find the artifacts, but I'm afraid she's blind to our new competitor. No telling the exact number, but they're getting harder to find. Got some equipment, repairs, and upgrades on the making do list. The eye's straining to her limits these days. I'll hold on to these charts until you're ready then. The Blackest Sea is still holding artifacts for us to find. Double-check the safety and locks wherever you go, okay? Exploration's dangerous, even without some nefarious group trying to kill you. Good luck out there on the fringe. Find myself thinking of the fleet. You know you can take a mark, you don't open comms. It's all storm and fire and sifting the wreckage after it's over. But if you're not so sure, you play the bully's gambit. Hope they don't challenge the threats you throw at them. Sound familiar? Maybe. All the worse for us, not knowing their intent. A striker lurking in the shadows has good reason to hide. Won't be easy to drag them into the light. Find myself thinking of the fleet. You know you can take a mark, you don't open comms. It's all storm and fire and sifting the wreckage after it's over. But if you're not so sure, you play the bully's gambit. Hope they don't challenge the threats you throw at them. Sound familiar? All the more reason to itch your brain over the details. Could have ended it right there. They chose not to. A striker lurking in the shadows has good reason to hide. Won't be easy to drag them into the light. Jaw the words another time then. Keep both eyes on the back while you're out there. Make sure those starborn don't creep up on you. Find myself thinking of the fleet. You know you can take a mark, you don't open comms. It's all storm and fire and sifting the wreckage after it's over. But if you're not so sure, you play the bully's gambit. Hope they don't challenge the threats you throw at them. Sound familiar? Thoughts taking a stroll through my mind is all. A striker lurking in the shadows has good reason to hide. Won't be easy to drag them into the light. And the darkness gets lit just a candle more. Raise the thoughts with you later.
Are you okay, Dad? You look tired.
Yes? What is it?
I look forward to it.
You two go on. I have academic journals to review, and the galaxy's cheesiest hoagie to devour.
An interesting mix of activities. I hope they are both enjoyable.
What's new?
I feel like I've been waiting my whole life for this. Constellation, the artifacts. That doesn't sound crazy, does it? Feel free to help yourself at the bar. I don't drink, but I feel like if I did, now would be a good time for one. There's certainly precedent, isn't there? We've been operating for a while now on the fringes of what humans, know and understand. Why rule anything out? I just think we should be open-minded, keep everything on the table. I did say it was a metaphor, didn't I? Never meant it to be taken completely literally, but you never know. Maybe they appeared in a form we're familiar with. It's the argument I have with Walter every other week. Science and reason have their place, but so does faith. We have all of them at our disposal, and I don't for 1 second believe they're mutually exclusive. Take care of yourself.
I'd like to talk to you about something when you have the chance. I've occasionally had my doubts about Constellation as an investment. But now, well, it's clearly money well spent. Oh, right. I was afraid you were going to bring that up again. Very well. Let's see if I embarrass myself or not. My colleagues, I venture out into the darkness of space once again. Many of you have expressed concern. At my age, you say, surely the risks are too great. Surely Sebastian Banks has earned a rest. Nonsense, I say. To go out into the unknown, to brave the possibility of never coming back, to ignite the spark of hope that humanity will find answers out there in the stars, that is all I have ever wanted. If this last expedition is my time, then I say, I have been fortunate. I have been fortunate to leave, surrounded by people who could not be more different from one another, but who share a common purpose. That, dare I say, I am fortunate my soul has a home it can always come back to. And that was the last thing Sebastian Banks ever said in the lodge before he disappeared. And Constellation has been waiting for him to come home ever since. I want you to know I was very impressed with your work back on Narion. I'm beginning to wonder if there's anything you can't handle. I'd like to test that theory. My Staryard's been having a little trouble getting our next project off the ground. I need someone capable and decisive to step in and steer it in the right direction. Interested? As you know, I'm a busy man, running a company, helping to manage Constellation's financial needs. It doesn't leave me with much time to get into the weeds with every little business venture that comes my way. Besides, think of this as a rare opportunity to help shape the future of a major consumer brand. Understood. You know where to find me when you free up some time. Well, I suppose that station in orbit has more than paid for itself at this point. Not my first time in a hostile negotiation, as you well know. Admittedly, I usually know more about who I'm facing off against. I'm very interested in what Noel can learn from the scans. The technology on that ship was impressive, to say the least. If there's a chance, we could learn enough to duplicate some of it. I got to where I am by taking advantage of opportunities no matter where I find them. Might as well make the most of this crazy situation. So, are you interested in helping me at the Staryard? I could use your decisiveness in steering the project back on track. Love the enthusiasm. I knew there was a reason I picked you to help with this project. It's a new ship. We want to diversify our fleet. Now, I don't know why the people I pay very handsomely to come up with new designs can't seem to get out of the R&D phase. And frankly, I don't care. I just want someone, you, to go there and show them how it's done. R&D needs to happen first whenever work starts on a new project. It's a natural stalling point since we need to make so many big decisions. In this case, we're talking about looking at our existing fleet of ships and using data we've gathered to see what consumers want. But of course, each member of the R&D team can interpret that data to suit their own confirmation bias. I'm guessing that's what we're seeing here. To be honest, I prefer it. I have professional designers, and obviously they can't do the job. They're floundering. And as I've seen firsthand, you dabble in all spectrums. Blue-collar work, exploration, fighting. I could go on. What better person to tell those overpaid muckety-mucks how to build a ship for the discerning consumer? Take your time. I'm sure we'll still be in the same predicament when next we speak. Take note. Everyone here is worth learning from. Yes, even the kid. I want to make sure you're on board with helping me get the new ship project back on track at my Staryard. I'm going to need you to go there and assist the team. Excellent. I'll send word ahead to the project lead, Jules Degante, that you're taking point. They'll all be instructed to listen to you and follow your direction. I expect big things from you, so I'm excited to see what you manage to deliver. I don't believe you'll let me down.
Never would I have imagined to encounter something like these Starborn. Now I feel that rather than having answers, we only have more questions. After all that we have seen, I am not sure that we are not. Regardless of how impossible they may have seemed before now, I must say that I do not like being threatened by anyone. I do not understand how seeking answers can be so dangerous. Clearly, these Starborn are connected to the artifacts, which would mean that they are also connected to that temple you found. Did they make these things? Have they appropriated them? This all implies there is something more, something we do not yet understand. I was just getting used to how complicated they already were. We will need to be on our guard from now on. They seem to know much about us. Perhaps we can learn more about them to make it even. We should return to our search then. There's still so much to do.
I'm expecting big things from you with this ship project. Don't let me down. Not my first time in a hostile negotiation, as you well know. Admittedly, I usually know more about who I'm facing off against. I'm very interested in what Noel can learn from the scans. The technology on that ship was impressive, to to say the least. If there's a chance, we could learn enough to duplicate some of it. Oh, I'm not arguing otherwise. But at the end of the day, I do own a corporation based around building spaceships. You can't blame me. Goodbye.
What did you need? You do not need to ask me if you may ask. You may just ask. Very good.
Hope my employees don't give you too much trouble. Not my first time in a hostile negotiation, as you well know. Admittedly, I usually know more about who I'm facing off against. I'm very interested in what Noel can learn from the scans. The technology on that ship was impressive, to say the least. If there's a chance, we could learn enough to duplicate some of it. That's certainly true. And it also wouldn't hurt to give Stroud-Eklund an advantage in the marketplace. You're doing Constellation proud.
My grandpa lives in Aquila City, but we don't visit all that often. I don't think Dad likes it there.
I don't know about you, but a fella could do a lot worse in Constellation. Late at night in dive bars, sometimes the old-timers share stories about things they've seen that they just couldn't explain. Ghost stories, if you will. I've heard of things like the Starborn before. But they're real. Honest to God real. Nobody believed those old buggers. So the obvious question is, what the hell are they? Everyone's gonna be thinking aliens, but maybe not. Their ships were incredible, but they still felt like ships. They had engines, weapons, I think I even made out a grav drive. If they were really alien, I would just expect it to be more alien, you know? I mean, it could be some secret Freestar Varun or UC tech, but I don't know. I mean, anything's possible. But if anyone had that much of an edge on the others, the whole balance of power would shift, right? It'd be one hell of a conspiracy to keep it quiet. An even greater amount of restraint to keep it in your back pocket. Yeah, well, you might be right. I'm gonna throw out another wild stab-in-the-dark theory. Maybe they're from outside our known systems. Here's the hypothetical. Centuries ago, some brainiac scientists decide to play settler. But they go way, way beyond any place we've ever been to set up stakes. Once they get there, they make a few lucky breakthroughs, and their science just snowballs from there. I could see them getting further, faster, and hence, become the Starborn. If I got it right, then you owe me a steak dinner. One way or the other, we are not alone. And that's both exciting and terrifying.
Hey, Dad. Want to hear a poem I wrote? It's called a haiku. I just read about them.
A haiku, huh? Well, sounds exciting. Let's hear it.
Okay. It's called Space. Space is cold and dark. Starships fly there like comets, carrying us home.
Not bad. Hey, will you write it down so I can carry a copy with me?
I'll copy down too. You know how you lose things. I still don't know how you lost that picture of Nibbles the comet-eating bunny. Hi. Hello. Bye.
It's good to be out and about. Lives get stuffy sometimes. Take it easy.
keep saying they've changed. Maybe I should give them a second chance.
I doubt it.
You're right. To break the cycle.
You've got to have at least half your power in your shields. I don't think that's how it works.
How can I be of service, Captain?
Always a satisfying moment to return to your ship.
Glad to be part of the team.
Captain, hello. I am satisfied to see that you survived your most recent sleep cycle. Hello.